Welcome back to another reaction for Witch Hat Atelier episode 2. Okay, we use a Pegasus carrot.
風起きたかい？
What would have been nice if her eyes were a little bit puffy? Because I feel like she still would be crying a lot. Especially in her sleep.
流しの羽馬車を呼んだんだよ。
How?
空の上は寝巻きじゃ寒かったろう。もうすぐ着くからね。お、ほら、見えてきた。
Okay, it's witch time. Becoming witch time. Just interesting that Monday is now witch day for me. Witch Hat Atelier and release that
僕
witch.
のアトリエ。君の学び屋だ。
So this is your atelier. What is Witch Hat Atelier then? Can't really watch the opening. Probably a good opening. Oh, we see some of the friends we make. Okay, we have blue-haired girl, pink-haired girl, black-haired girl? Or is it? No, looks also skirt. I assumed could have been a guy. Who knows? So this is her old self, and this is her witch self. Oh, wow. Okay. Those four, we have the black-haired guy, an old witch guy, a tanned one who could be a different race? No. Some dudes. The School of the Grassland.
君の家の周りには門番イバラの種をまいてきた。
I assume it makes like a barrier.
すぐに育って結界の役割を果たしてくれるだろう。得体の知れない魔法で家が石化して。
Petrified. More iced. Also, thank you for not giving me shoes.
てしまったから。誰かが迂闊に近寄れないようにね。
Granted, depending on how fantasy this is, you probably have no problem walking barefoot.
だから、ここ？どうしたの？
お母さん、一人にしないって約束したのに、私。
ここ。自分を責めないで。君は何も知らなかったんだ。 さあ、顔を洗って。涙を流しきったら前を見て。今日から前を見て。
Oh. I'm just wondering how this works. Is that the sigil? Because we know you can draw sigils on stuff and it does stuff. I mean, this would be... wouldn't need to be a way that the sigil completes when you separate them. I'm just wondering because we saw the other witch using magic without any seeable writing. And if writing is how you invoke magic, then this also would need to be some kind of writing. Also, we have seen a bunch of children, like 6 in the opening, that seemingly are going to learn magic. That means there is a reason how, or there is a way to become a witch. I wonder how. Because we know you only need ink and the sigils to do magic. That means theoretically anyone can. So how are these children being chosen? We know Coco is chosen because of the link between her and the people that distribute the magic books. But what about the rest? Maybe it's the children of witches?
今日からここで暮らすんだから。
これは
Water?
水だよ。あ、失念していたね。
水
She's too round and floaty.
と呼ぶには丸くて浮いてるような。これどうやって使う
That is a good question. That is a very good question. I have no idea. Are you just dunking your face in there or?
えばいいんですか？どうやって使えばいいんですか？キーフリーさん。知らない魔法なんて怖くて触れない。
Understandable. Totally understandable. After last night, it is reasonable to be very careful.
怖くないよ。
Oh, she gets introduced really quick.
扱いが難しい魔法じゃないもん。テティアが教えてあげようか。
Yes.
それはね、浮きすいて
Vapor bubble. First off, vapor is gas, right? Doesn't look like gas.
空気中の水分から水を汲み出せる魔法なの。こうして手を出して。下の皿を傾けると注ぎ口になるんだよ。
Oh,
すごい。ありがとう。ありがとう。ありがとうって言われるの大好きなの。だからありがとう。そうなんだ。ありがとう。こちらこそありがとうのありがとう。
this is going to be an endless loop. This is not good.
こちらこそありがとうのありがとうのありがとう。テティアがうるさければ放置。
Oh, you are the... Okay.
そのうち黙る。
So we have an overly friendly, somewhat more loud, but someone very positive, seemingly. We have someone more subdued. Then the last one, probably a mix.
ひどいなひどいなリチェ。テティアは教えてあげただけだよ。
Also, okay. So you can just tip the vapor bubble and water comes out. How do you do that while holding it? If someone else does it, okay. So I guess you hang it somewhere and then you can use your hands to tip it and catch the water, right? Okay, so we have a pen, we have a mortar and pestle, some ink, I assume is a bottle, some dagger thing, maybe charcoal. Maybe you prepare what you draw before you draw it, you know? And some kind of, I guess those are round papers? Because the sigils are round. do you need to draw the edge, the round edge, or does it only need, you only need something to make it a round edge, and this completes the circle. So this way you save the circle at the end, you only need to draw inside. Is that the reason?
とインク二人とも魔法使いなの？の弟子だよ。キーフリー先生の生徒なの。
I would like to know how.
っていうか君は違うの？てっきりテティアたちと同じ見習いかと思った。
I mean, technically.
同い年？どこのアトリエの人？お
Which atelier did you come from? So I guess that means they all came from an atelier. He did say this is his atelier. Meaning that I guess witches call their home ateliers? Meaning they are potentially children of witches?
私はまだ見習いとも言えないかも。何せ魔法を書いたのは昨日が初めてだから。今日からここでお世話になるの。え？あれ？まさか君がそうなの？
Who did what? What do you mean?
私が何？
So the sigils she drew, people outside felt that? Meaning the people that gave her the book also felt that she used the book and the sigils. There's probably some plan they had in mind with that.
噂で聞いたの。禁止魔法を使った知らざる者。
How? Hello? Yesterday she used the forbidden magic, and the rumors are already going around? How?
記憶も消されずに弟子になるのを許されたって。
Very ominous. Again, how did it spread so fast? Who's the snitch?
ここ大丈夫？
キーフリーさん。
お互い自己紹介はもう済んだみたいだね。リチェとテティアも朝のお手伝いをしたら部屋で自習してくれるかな。はーい。着替え。ここではみんなこれを着てる。
Okay. So, depending on what clothes you wear, you can more or less see which atelier you're coming from. Meaning, we most likely are going to have the black-haired girl also here.
怖がらないで。ちゃんと説明するよ。サイズはぴったりだね。さて、魔法についてのお話を始めよう。遠い昔、魔法は遠い昔、魔法は特別なものじゃなかった。決まった図形の組み合わせと特殊な製法のインクがあれば。
So you do have to draw the circle. I would have liked if you didn't need to do that. I wonder. First off, I mean, with a fire one, unlikely, but couldn't you double-side the paper? One sigil on one side, one sigil on the other side. Additionally, the sigil only activates if it's completed, so couldn't you draw most of the sigil and then you only need to finish it with a stroke? Thirdly, would you be able to use this little paper, dunk the edge, you know, a little bit of the edge in ink, you know, turn the paper until the whole edge is black, and then put it back? Now you only need to draw the inside because the outside is full of ink. Would that work, or do you need to finish with the circle? Many questions.
どこの誰にでも使える。もっと身近なものだったんだ。
I'm assuming there was some big war, everyone was using magic, and people were like, magic, let's not do that again.
だけどそのせいで何度も争いが起きた。何でもできる力があれば何でもするのが人間だ。おぞましい魔法がいくつも描かれた。わずかに残った良識ある人たちは争いを拒み、魔法使いとして結託し、人々の魔法の記憶を奪
Is that a sigil? Looks like one.
って秘密を守れる。
To take other people's memories of magic. So did they cast this large spell that robbed everyone of magic?
その魔法の記憶を奪って秘密を守れる弟子にだけ教え伝えることにした。それが
Yeah, that is going to work. That is always going to work.
結託の日だ。以来魔法は特別な人間しか使えない力だと思わせてきた。真実が世間に広まればあっという間に無法地帯に逆戻りだ。みんな秘密を守るために警戒しているのさ。君が噂になったのもそのせいだ。ごめんね。
いえ、自分のせいですから。禁止魔法って。
争いの時代に描かれて結託の日と共に禁じられた人を傷つける魔法だ。
教えてください。
I feel like not when you want to say that.
使っちゃいけない魔法全部知りたいんです。
お、
知らないままじゃ怖くて何もできないです。
焦らないでと諭すところだけど君には言いにくいな。ついておいで。
He does give me I mean, the style looks Gojo-esque. But a lot more
禁止魔法は
human.
数えきれないほどあるんだけどひとまとめにしたらシンプルだ。人体そのものにかける魔法はいかなる時も禁止とする。例えば変身や年齢の変化、扉や乗り物を使わない瞬間移動。
Interesting. So if you teleport, if you use or transport your body without a medium, that is forbidden. But using a door connecting two spaces, that is totally fine. Now, the magic she used did not necessarily target a human. It affected a human. So technically, it is not forbidden, right?
思考や感情を操ったり、人を傷つけたり、癒したり。
Healing. Healing is forbidden, really.
一つだけ例外があるけど。
記憶を消す魔法。
その通り。
I mean, that seems a little bit contradiction, whatever. Because healing magic, I feel like you should also allow.
大抵の魔法は道具にかける。馬車とかランプとか。
I do wonder, are we going to find out what all the little bits and pieces in the sigil mean, in the magic? Is it really like a system?
こういう窓とかね。
I was wondering, it looked like it was also symbols, but teleportation? No.
湖、さっきまで辺り一面丘だったのに。
扉窓だよ。同じ模様の丸窓をつないでくれる。遠くの建物が見えるかな。図書の塔。知識の保管のため魔法に関する全ての書籍が書かれた瞬間にあそこで複製される。
The moment they are written.
あの絵本も。すぐ行きましょう。私寝ないで探します。
Not very healthy. I also feel like there's a bunch of books there, which also means that you are probably only allowed if you are of high enough renown.
待って。
Not very inviting.
あれは司書の試練。図書の塔は4人の司書に守られていて、試練を乗り越えた魔法使いだけが中に入れるんだ。塔へ入るにはまず学ばないとね。ここ。
I do find it interesting that it looked like the iron rods were finishing the sigil.
さっき僕は嬉しかったんだ。君が知りたいと言ってくれて。恐怖を感じるのは仕方ない。でも禁止されずに残ったのは人を幸せにする魔法ばかりだから。どうせなら優しい魔法をもっと知ってほしいな。なんてね。どうかな。
はい、キーフリー先生。
Okay.
ここ
So
が
don't
君
rush it. Let's learn magic. Simple magic first and then in the future.
の部屋だよ。
The question is really what is happening. So I'm assuming the mom is in eternal sleep until we solve the ice thingy.
アガットは留守みたいだ。
Was this the
Agatha
black-haired
って？
girl?
君のルームメイトさ。
I mean, whenever I see her, she looks like a cat. Or gives me that cat feeling.
作業スペースは2人1部屋なんだ。寝室は個別だよ。奥
She may be the more proud one. Maybe she is not going to like her.
の階段を降りたところ、鍵付きだから安心して。奥の階段を降りたところ、鍵付きだから安心して。少し休むといい。僕は用事があるから何かあったら呼んでくれ。
So not only I assumed it would be a bedroom. No, not only do you have a bed each. No, you have a window, you have beds each. You have a whole downstairs. There's a bookshelf.
鍵付きだ。僕は呼んでくれ。
And he did call it a workspace. So there's stuff down there as well. I'm assuming he has to inform people. Why do you need to rotate it into a specific spot?
僕です。キーフリーです。ココを弟子にすることを許可してくれてありがとうございます。はい。ええ。絵本のことはまだ。今あの子も混乱しているので。
はあ、これが魔法使いの部屋か。
I feel like you don't want to touch anything. I mean, you are going to try the witch hat, but you should not. because this is probably all stuff that Agot has put somewhere. Also, I feel like we are going to see a lot of more symbolic areas, not in the way of symbol rich areas. Like here's a window, have all these different symbols. I feel like we are going to see that everywhere.
そっちは私の机よ。
Our rival?
降りるから離れて。あ、ごめんね。
So she has a hat. I believe this is the other sigils that we had on the carriage, right? No. No. Same. Because the other one was like a triangle with a little thingy on the edge, on the corner, on each corner. Again, here. So you see on the red where we have the teeth pointing in a certain direction.
あなたがアガットだよね。私はここ。知ってる。例の知らざるものでしょう。新しい姉妹弟子になるって聞いたわ。
I find it interesting how everyone knows who she is in a day. I mean, social media is not even that fast.
お母様、気の毒だったわね。ありがとう。あなたのせいで永遠に人間に戻れない。助けるためにここに来たの。魔法使いになって物心つい
Fingerprints, nice.
た時から指先が染まるまで魔法陣を描いてる。試験に受かってやっと見習い、弟子入りを認められるのはそれからよ。何も知らない普通の子、知らざる者のあなたになれるはずないわ。
You are nothing special. That's the whole point. You are nothing special. The only reason you have a leg up on her is because she never got the opportunity to do that. If she was in the same shoes, she probably would be better than you because she loves magic quite a bit.
魔法は試してみたら
I mean, she drew the forbidden spell. It's like probably not everyone can do that. I mean, she, traced it, but still, she did.
けたもん。やってみなきゃわからない。なら証明して明日試験を受けるの。あがった
Also, what we should also acknowledge is that Coco seems very analytical. She was not content with just drawing the circles. She also analyzed what is important. Important is that you draw them neatly. The bigger, the stronger, what works and what not. She tried to do her own circles that did not work. So she has already a lot of knowledge behind the scenes, which a lot of people would not bother with. A lot of people just take what they get taught and never question why the reasoning, are there other ways? They just take it. So she's already far better than most people, I assume, would be.
今日はココの歓迎会だよね。ごちそう。
Some nice bread. I guess beetroot soup. Hmm.
いつもと一緒。
Yes, that is not a lot.
先生、歓迎会は？
急だったからね。歓迎会はまた今度。アガットは？
部屋で食べるって。
たまにはみんなで食べてほしいんだけど。
I would, in his shoes, I would force her to eat with everyone. It's like a bonding moment.
よし、僕らも食べよう。いただきますはココに言ってもらおうかな。
はい。
いただきますはココに言ってもらおうかな。
はい。
What is she doing?
いただきます。
いただきます。
Delicious bread.
美味しい。でしょでしょ。ここで焼いてるんだよ。
Nice.
先生は名シェフ。すごい。
近所で採れる麦がいいんだよ。近くで採れる野菜が美味しいんだよ。
ごちそうさまでした。
Interesting. Triangle pillow? Alright.
お母さん。弟子になるには試験を受けなきゃいけないって。
Do we know what is on the test?
でも何をするとか具体的な内容は書いてないよ。
何が書いてないって？魔法については本に書いてないことが多いんだ。学ぶには読むより何より触れること。
これは
君の魔剤。魔法を書く道具だ。
Okay. So again, we have modern, passive. Yeah. Water? Yeah. We have ink. We have a couple papers. Not enough. The pen, and what is the first off? The mortar for what? Second, the obsidian dagger, whatever that is. For what is that one?
かっこいい。魔病の杖、ペン。本当はまだちょっと怖い。でもお母さん絶対元に戻すからね。キーフェリー先生、よろしくお願いします。
よし、始めよう。
Do we get explained what the other things are? And is this a real language? It looks like a real language. Question is this a Western language or not?
ここ大丈夫？ちょっと休憩する？
大丈夫です。
What are we learning?
じゃあ
By the way.
理解したことを僕に説明してごらん。
Good.
はい。魔法は3つの要素で。
Okay. 3 components or elements. The middle sigil or symbol. The keys, which are probably what connects the energy or pushes energy somewhere, most likely to the symbol. And then I guess the circle, which completes
構成され
the
ていて、
spell.
中央門、
Okay.
その周りに描かれる線を、いや、この2つを囲う円を陣と呼び、
Okay.
門の種類で炎、水、光、
風とどんな魔法になるかが決まり、矢は
Okay. Okay, determine what form.
その魔法がどんな形で現れるかと。
So the sigil the spell she casted last time, in the middle, the sigil was a bunch of squares, or probably something like diamonds more in Ananda. Is that what would be ice?
Okay.
So the signs determine what form the magic takes. Good. So we have these different. We have the T forming in there. We have the arrows. And then we have the T's outward.
形で現れるかと大きさ、方向を定めます。
Size and direction.
そして最後に円。
So if it points inward, it is going to cast inside. If it points outward, it casts outside. In what way? I assume the right one is the one he used before for the lamp.
方向を定めます。
Makes a circle, the little ball of light.
そして最後に円で囲うことで陣が閉じられ魔法が発現する。
So the outside circle is the last one?
覚えるだけで精一杯。
でも説明できたじゃない。
私挑戦してみます。
いいね、その息だ。
So I guess advanced spells have the different sigils that are then being funneled into the middle sigil by the lines. Okay.
Oh. ダメだよ捨てちゃ。
ダメです。こんなの見せられないです。
What about the star? Star was firework. Right.
下手だし線はブルブルのガタガタで。
当然だよ。始めたばかりだもの。それよりも見るべきところは他にある。ほらここ、陣が切れてるだろ。途切れてたら魔法は発動しないよ。新しい道具を扱う手はおぼつかないものさ。初めて立った子馬みたいなものだから、すぐに慣れて自由に駆け回れるようになるよ。さあ、線をつなげて発動させてみてごらん。
Is that because one of the lines, one of the lines was stronger? Interesting. And this propels the water to the side? So that is why you need uniformity, but it also means that you can control in which direction it goes. Interesting. Ooh. Would this still work? Here the balls are loud, okay. No clue about the signs, the sigil also, I don't know.
ごめんなさい。乾かす。私乾かすから。
ココ、落ち着いて。ごめんよアガット。大丈夫かい？
いいんです、先生。私気にしてません。
I don't believe you. I feel like you are very bothered.
それより個々の魔法陣を見せてください。
え、ああ。
ああ、これだわ。
見て。この矢が一本だけ長い。ここからの力が加わりすぎて、水が勢いよく飛んだのよ。
For someone who is a little bit pissed off, he's still willing to explain.
さすがアガットの指摘は的確だ。うん、君なら任せても大丈夫そうだね。僕はこれから2、3日魔法使いの大講堂に行ってくる。留守の間個々のことを頼んだよ。
Don't leave me alone.
はい、先生。
待ってください。
姉妹弟子から得るものは多い。ここ彼女を見てよく学ぶんだよ。
I mean, yeah. Now that we know the components, we know a little bit how the lines are affecting the signs. What I would do, I would never do water or fire. I would do light. Light feels like it has the least potential to damage or inconvenience someone. And then I would play around with the different signs. Not signs, lines. We have the 3 different ones, pointing in with an arrow, pointing outward with a little umbrella or whatever that was. And I would play around. What happens if I have one of them too long? What happens if I have 2 longer in the same, in opposite directions? What happens then? I would play around like that.
先生。
And light would work well for that.
本当にごめんね。私。
何度も謝らないで。気にしてないって言ったでしょ。さあ、ここ。昨日言ったわよね。証明してって。生ぬるいお勉
Okay, so what do you want me to do?
強の時間は終わり。試験を始めるわよ。
Is she supposed to burn something down? Okay. So this is the sigil she drew, the other one is the sigil that Augur drew, but some of the stuff is missing. And this one has the lines in the same direction. So it's rotating, essentially. I didn't even acknowledge that. Right, it's in the same direction. This time counterclockwise? I'm wondering if that is going to make it rotate. I do wonder what kind of sigil she drew there. Something to rotate. Wind is different, right? We did see the wind sigil. Was wind different? Yeah. But I like that we got a little bit more explanation, how the systems work, sigil, lines, and circle. I don't know how this really works in the big one, because the big spell we drew had a circle in the middle, a second circle in the middle, and then a big circle at the edge. So when is the spell activating? Or is it that you complete the circles at the end, maybe? I don't really know about that. What if a spell has multiple circles, which this one had? Also, we don't really, I mean, we could go back. I don't see any of the sigils we had there being used here. So they are different than the normal ones we got taught. But I'm assuming that there are more sigils out there for different elements. Okay. So we will see next episode what the big test is going to be about.